It looks petty. It looks like you're being a sore loser. It looks like you are making excuses.
It's just baffling. Imagine being the most talked about rookie in WNBA history, bringing millions of new fans to the sport, only to watch referees let opponents physically assault you game after game. That's exactly what happened to Caitlin Clark during her rookie season, and the footage speaks for itself. From Jackie Young slapping her in the face with what was ruled only a common foul, to Alyssa Thomas bulldozing her with a shoulder check, that somehow wasn't called flagrant. The pattern is undeniable. We've put together every major missed call against Clark this season, and when you see them all in sequence, you'll understand why fans are so outraged.
For your team, it's just weird, and it's so interesting to me how still Caitlin Clark is getting under everyone's skin. Like, she so easily can get under the skin of other players.
Did you catch what happened to Caitlin Clark in the playoffs when Jai Carrington literally poked her in the eye and the refs just stood there? It wasn't just a missed call. It was a perfect example of how officials have treated the WNBA's brightest new star all season.
Other coaches, it feels like a lot of these players and teams just hate the Indiana Fever, and I mean, I get it. This team was one of the worst teams in the league, and they are now climbing the ranks.
Let's set the scene. September 22nd, playoff atmosphere thick in the air, Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sun. The basketball world is tuned in, all eyes on the rookie who's redefined women's basketball, now facing the biggest stage of, her young career. With 5:48 left in the second quarter, everything shifts.
Harassed by Carrington, finds Boston after taking a shot following the pass to Boston.
Carrington lunges for the ball, but instead of a clean defensive play, her fingers connect straight with Clark's eye. The impact is instant. Clark recoils, clearly shaken, her hand flying to her face. You can see the pain written all over her expression, and what happens next is nothing short of jaw-dropping.
Clark in pain after she caught that fingertip in the eye, or no whistle.
The crowd holds its breath, waiting for the whistle. Waiting and waiting. But the refs stay silent. Play continues as if nothing happened, while Clark blinks through the pain, trying to regain her focus. Even the commentators couldn't hide their shock. Clark, now being harassed by Carrington, passes to Boston, but then Carrington hits Clark in the face again, and she goes down. The announcers are stunned, their voices rising in disbelief that no foul was called.
Now, there's nothing Indiana can challenge here because no call on the floor was made. Clearly not on purpose from Carrington, but also enough contact that it certainly could have been a personal foul.
What makes this moment so telling isn't just the missed call, it's what happened afterward. Clark didn't make a fuss. She didn't throw her hands up or scream at the refs. She simply took the hit, a bruise already starting to form around her eye, and kept playing. The physical toll was clear in her performance. She finished the first half shooting a dismal 1 for 9, her rhythm completely thrown off by that uncalled foul.
You see the poke in the eye, and one of the areas that Indiana has the first game of the season here in this building, Ryan, is when that blitz comes to Caitlin Clark, how she is able to deliver the basketball to Aaliyah Boston.
Meanwhile, fans weren't nearly as quiet. Social media exploded with outrage, dubbing it the worst officiated game in basketball history and a total embarrassment to the league. The clips went viral in minutes, with viewers from all over the sports world unable to believe what they had just witnessed.
They better choose carefully and choose wisely, because even though everybody wants to show out and support Caitlin Clark, I told you earlier, I think a lot of people are getting real close to turning the TV back off because the WNBA does not want to step up and take responsibility for this shit.
But here's what's truly infuriating. This wasn't just a one-off incident. The eye poke was the tipping point in a whole season where Clark was repeatedly targeted physically, with no protection from the officials. Game after game, she endured hard fouls, body checks, and aggressive defense that went beyond competitive play and veered into dangerous territory.
Is good. Kennedy Carter now, from Boston, as the officials are going to, and Clark.
What we're witnessing isn't just the typical rookie treatment new players usually get. It's something more deliberate, something clearly targeted. And through it all, Clark has kept her cool. She never uses the officiating as an excuse, never complains in post-game interviews. She just keeps playing her game, despite the bruises stacking up, both physically and mentally.
Now, she may be thinking, look, if they're not going to call these flagrant fouls and they're going to let everybody in the league beat the crap out of me, I better do something to put on some mass to protect myself.
If you thought the eye poke with no call was bad, wait until you see the ridiculous double standard that's been at play all season. In one game, Clark gets called for a technical after barely grazing the backboard following a missed shot. Yet, just minutes later, a veteran player shoves her from behind during a timeout, and the refs act like they didn't see a thing.
Talk about. So the first one here is when Caitlin Clark got a technical for slapping the padding that is on the hoop.
The August 18th game against the Seattle Storm really showcased how absurd the officiating has become. Clark misses a three-pointer and taps the padding on the basket lightly, just out of frustration with herself. What happens next? The referee instantly blows the whistle and calls a technical foul. Even the commentator couldn't hide their confusion, simply saying, Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical.
Staying with her, preventing her from getting those touches.
And Caitlin Clark gets hit with a tech. She was jawing for a while after that foul call on Aaliyah, but this one I think is about her frustration with missing that last three.
After the game, Clark explained what went down. I got a technical for basically being mad at myself for missing the three, and then I went and hit the backboard. He told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. Can you believe that a tap on some padding gets called disrespectful to the game? Meanwhile, real disrespect was about to unfold right in front of those same officials.
And then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So, I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor, and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So, but I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that. So I want to thank him for that.
Later in that exact same game, Skylar Diggins-Smith shoves Clark from behind during a timeout. This wasn't a random accident or part of the game. It was a clear, intentional push, right in front of everyone in the arena during a stoppage in play. And what did the officials do? Nothing. No technical, no warning, not even a recognition that it happened while the crowd booed in utter disbelief. Social media erupted immediately. Fans couldn't wrap their heads around how Clark gets penalized for showing the slightest emotion towards an inanimate object, while a veteran player can physically assault her with zero consequences. It's not just inconsistent officiating, it's a glaring pattern showing that rookies like Clark are held to impossible standards, while veterans seem to get a free pass.
Because I thought that we were turning the corner when it came to the jealousy and cheap shots in the WNBA, especially when it's not a basketball play. But as you can see here, Caitlin Clark is walking off the court, and Skylar Diggins, you can see her speed up and kind of dip her shoulder just so she can hit Caitlin Clark. Mind you, they are down 15, 16 points with 10 seconds left in the game right here.
What makes this even more mind-blowing is how it feels like officials have different rule books depending on who's involved. Clark's minor emotional reaction gets flagged in an instant, but when it comes to protecting her from aggressive play, the whistles somehow vanish. The disparity couldn't be more obvious. Technical fouls are handed out to rookies like candy, while veterans get a level of leniency that's practically preferential treatment.
the WNBA letting this go on when she is the league. When she is the league, period. I mean, let's be real here. She is the needle mover.